Well, people often wonder, why do I monitor the hips? Why am I looking at hip tilt? Why am I monitoring the muscles in the lower back, since after all, the work is being done at the neck level? And that's a very good question. The reason that I do that is because I want to make sure that the muscle tone is being affected from the top all the way down to the bottom, okay? And let me explain. Here's the atlas, or the C1 vertebra, and it sits right up here at the top just like this. And here we have the brainstem. Now the brainstem doesn't just float there, it's attached to the spine by these ligaments. And when there's a misalignment of the atlas, like this or like that, it's going to put tension on these ligaments, and then it's going to affect all these little different nerve pathways. All these nerve pathways are just like the wires on your entertainment center at home. The DVD player, you got the TV, speakers, all these different things. All of those wires go to a very, very specific location. Now the sidemost wires come down here and they innervate all of the muscles of the spinal column. We call them the paraspinal muscles. And they anchor to the pelvis right down here. So when there's uneven tone of the muscles here because of the interference that is occurring up here, it will manifest in a lower hip or a twisted hip on one side, and therefore I can monitor a person's progress without needing to take x-rays every single time. Now this is just the tip of the iceberg of what happens when a person's head isn't on straight. There's all sorts of other little nerve channels here, of course, that get affected when this happens. And the long word for all of this is the Atlas Subluxation Complex Syndrome. And now you know why I like to abbreviate that. The Atlas Subluxation Complex Syndrome, because there's so many different things that happen when the atlas or C1 vertebra shifts out of place. So I like to see it as though I am sort of this puppeteer controlling this marionette, and maybe you're I was going to say Pocchio, but Pinocchio. Pocchio is something that 2.5-year-olds like to watch on YouTube. And you know, when that atlas is out of place, it's kind of like we're taking the crossbar on that string puppet and we're leveling it off so that now things can kind of fall in place. That's really what we're doing, because the tone of the muscles in your spine is affected, is controlled by the brainstem.
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, during the excitement of this video, I kind of lost track myself. But being as though no gun laws are being violated, and that this plastic gun is nailed to my hand, you gotta ask yourself one question. Who do I know who may be suffering with the Atlas Subluxation Complex Syndrome?